Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and it might be a good idea to play a run just to kind of get my sea legs back, so to speak, because even when I was running Ultra Combo, I felt like I was not performing to my standard. So we're going to try another idea. And when I say another idea, I mean an idea I've probably done 1,000 times. But I would like to run this to try to essentially get my groove back. That's what this run is all about, how Dark Sage got his groove back. If I even can. That sounded depressing. Why do you say it that way? Honestly, I don't know. Like, when I don't perform well, I get really into my own head about it. And I've told you guys this before. This is absolutely nothing new. Like, I'll do and say things that honestly do not necessarily match what it is that I want to say or feel. Like, I'm sure all of you have some idea of what it is I'm talking about, but I'm referring to negative self-talk. I bet all of you know what that is, and we all probably do it from time to time, but it's very different when it's coming from the mindset of someone who's really down on themselves like I am. Someone who goes through a lot of depression and anxiety will not just go into the negative self-talk, they'll actually go into like massive detail about why you're actually a shit-eating scumbag, and it's not just negative self-talk at that point, it's damn near self-fulfilling prophecy. And I imagine there are a number of you who know exactly what it is I'm talking about. So rejoice, it's not just you. We all have these problems. Not that it necessarily helps, but I do feel like a number of people out there, and honestly myself included, tend to think, oh, no one feels the way I do. I'm so weird about this. By the way, I am going to roll the soundtrack choice, and we did just roll the jazz soundtrack. So for those of you who are going, hey, Dark Sage, what happened to Melody? Nothing. I just haven't used it. However you want to call it. I don't know, does a jukebox have gender? For that matter, does this jukebox have gender? Now, I do also want to point out that I am really enjoying playing BlazBlue Entropy Effect, and I hope you all are enjoying watching gameplay of it, because that game, I feel so powerful when I play that game, and no, it's not a super easy game, it really isn't. Now, some of you might be used to, like, if you do watch other YouTubers and streamers play that game, they play it on a higher difficulty level than I do. That is because I am currently working my way up to those higher difficulty levels. Like, I just raised my entropy level to, I want to say I just put it up to like 31. And the next time I play, I'll put it up a little bit higher and a little bit higher until before I know it, I'm at like entropy level 6 million, and the enemies are like, one-shotting you by breathing at you. So not only do you have to avoid their attacks, but you also have to put masks on them to avoid their respiration, then air dodge around their super deadly gaseous farts, and then maybe you'll stand a chance. It won't be that bad. I guarantee. I'm just saying that I am gradually working on increasing the difficulty with that game. And honestly, one of the things that they... Ow, that sucked. One of the things that they do in that game that I really like is that they reward you for playing on higher difficulties. So you're not just taking on higher difficulty for no reason. God, so many good things. Okay, I will gladly spend 300 gold on getting my Painter's Toad online. Oh, hey, do you have anything I want? Yes, but do you have anything that I want that won't completely hinder my progress? Is the problem, because taking the sword this early gives me a big damage buff, but at the cost of the store prices being insane. This increases damage, but also makes it so that all of my spells cast slower. So it will just end up creating this weird, like, uncanny feeling about all of my spells that I'm not going to be able to shake. Ah, losers. So it's probably better if I don't grab anything here, and I think instead of the amulet, I am going to upgrade the drills. And yes, I did see Perfect Storm was there. It's actually one of those spells I've kind of really found myself getting into, because the last few runs I've done with that spell have just been a lot of fun. Oh, hello. That is a good freebie. Alright, yeah, that was not smart of me. I probably should have, tried to dodge their stupid boomerangs, but... Well, throwing blades, they're not really boomerangs. You get the idea. So, the reason why I'm not too thrilled about any of those spells, even Dragon Arc, is because I know that Zeal is going to be heavily resistant to them. I feel I should be trying to get a different spell online rather than trying to force that to work. Same with Wind Sentry, but she resists wind less than fire. This is also a good time for me to point out that I'm a little miffed that we don't have the Fire Master in Wizard of Legend 2 yet. If I'm being honest, I'm also a little miffed that they made the enemy attack pattern such bullshit, especially Terrace, but that can be countered by just a little bit of practice, so that's really just me just blowing off some steam. Hopefully you guys are okay with that and aren't just going like, wow, Darksage, you're such a bitch. And once again, if you want to get into the negative self-talk, that's part of it, because, yeah, I do get the feeling that me struggling to deal with that boss is causing people to make fun of me, and that in turn, I'm making fun of myself. Like, making fun of yourself on occasion, that's whatever. We all kind of do that to ourselves a little bit. But when you're out there actively telling yourself, yeah, you're a loser because you can't deal with this situation that was purposefully made difficult, it's like, There's no other way I can put that aside from saying, like, you know, maybe you shouldn't be so hard on yourself. Maybe stop, you know, treating yourself like you're the worst thing that's ever existed just because you're having a hard time with a video game boss. Like, I don't know, maybe I should talk to Dr. Song about it. Is she a licensed therapist? Is she qualified to handle that? By the way, that thing that I just did where I just walked past all the enemies, don't do that. Like, that is like, I've spoken about it a few times. I just want to point out how bad of a habit that is. Like, and I keep doing it because I keep thinking, like, oh, but I need to attack them from a different angle. It's like, but they're going to dogpile you if you do that. Like, you lost a run just recently because of that habit. And there's a part of me that's going, yes, but this time... It's like, yes, this time they'll hit you in the stomach instead of the dick. I would like to take one of those spells, but it's really not a good idea considering... That's the thing, I could pick it up and then just drop it when something else comes along, but I really get the feeling that I'm not going to do that because I know myself. Also, in this game, it's not as easy to just drop something that you're not really liking. It's not like Balatro, where it's designed for you to just get rid of useless jokers when they stop really adding to your strength. No, because in this game, it's like, yeah, anything can really add to your strength. So, you know, what's the harm in picking it up? And the harm is, I could be doing better, but I would be picking up something that my enemies resist very heavily. And there's that negative self-talk again. Like, I'm really bringing this up because even at work, I'm seeing training videos talking about, you know, don't do that to yourself. And that's something that my therapist and I have been talking about is, hey, maybe don't talk about yourself as if you're the worst thing in the world. And my brain still goes, yeah, but I can be better. But that's the thing, being better doesn't mean talking about yourself as if you're a piece of crap. Like, I don't know, I'm not meaning to use you guys as therapists, but sometimes it's nice just to talk about your issues out loud and there, I pushed him into the ice statue, and then he walked into that one all on his own. Nice. That was a sweet victory against Shu, I gotta say. Wow, game is really pushing me into taking this Storm Entourage. Alright, at least this one's upgraded, I didn't have to spend money on it. Thing is, because my build is ranged, Storm Entourage really isn't doing me a lot of good with my setup, so... So yeah, it's a good spell, but not for this setup, so I'm really thinking we need to get rid of that as soon as possible in order to pick up something else. Now keep in mind, as soon as possible might be like in like 2 or 3 levels, so it's not like I'm getting rid of it immediately or anything. What is this? Destroying an enemy projectile grants signature charge energy. I like that. But let's wait and see what Iris is selling. Because if she's selling something that works well for my build, then I would rather spend it on that, because I don't have a lot of enemy projectile destruction. Well, to be fair, I do, but it's stuff that also counters my own projectile, so it's like we're having a Dragon Ball Z bead fight, and I came into that fight with a spoon. Like, is it still right to reference Dragon Ball Z? Should I be referencing Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball Daima? Like, is that what people are more so looking forward to nowadays? Or thinking about? I don't know, I'm not going to say that I've been out of the loop, but, because obviously I know about these things, I've just not watched them. Like, as far as anime is concerned, the latest thing that I've watched is, what is it, the second season of Junji Ito Collection? And I find it funny, you know, for myself when I bring that up, because it's like, I'm not a big, like, horror buff, but lately that's been kind of what's been interesting lately is horror movie stuff. Like, Junji Ito Collection, I recently just sat down and watched all 3 parts of Terrifier. So even though I'm not a big, like, horror buff, that's kind of what I've been watching a lot of lately, is a lot of horror. That should really tell you something when, you know, the dude who isn't typically into horror stuff is really digging the horror stuff. What it says to me is that the people who are in charge of making other stuff aren't doing so hot. Because normally I would be the guy that's all about the comedies, but it's been so hard to make decent comedies when everyone's going, "That's offensive, you shouldn't say that!" It's like, that's the whole point of comedy, is to be able to say things that you wouldn't normally say. You know, to explore ideas, to make people laugh. Why is that so difficult in this day and age? Because everyone's a fucking bitch about it. You just can't talk about things. By the way, you can have that. Like, that's basically why we can't have nice things, is because everyone is so worried about being offended. Little realizing that the whole point of comedy is to essentially be offensive and make fun of the things that people find offensive. The quote and idea that comes to my mind most when I think about this is that good art should bring comfort to the disturbed and disturb the comforted. And unfortunately, we are living in a society where people are not only way too comfortable being the comforted, but they feel as though everyone and everything should cater to that idea. Because they've forgotten that the world is not made of Nerf. There are going to be sharp edges. I don't know, I kind of sound like an asshole talking about this right now. I want to assure you that I'm not trying to be like an ultra dick. I just think it's a shame that one of the things that I love most in the world is something that's really can't happen and it makes me upset, and then the depression comes back in, and... Oof. Yeah. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too hard about this. Maybe comedy isn't completely dead, but I'm just looking in the wrong places. Son of a... Okay, that was not smart. Oh, hey, here we go. Alright, so we definitely upgrade the Sonic Breakers. Okay, yeah, the last couple of rooms have just been troublesome. Alright, come here, heavy travel jacket. Alright, I'll have to come back for Earthquake Axe. That I definitely want. I don't know if I've ever really brought that up with you guys on my videos, but I love a good comedy. Matter of fact, I just love the concept of comedy in general. Like, up to you to determine whether or not you think I'm any good at it. But the idea that we can use laughter as a means of not only confronting heavy issues, but also as a means of kind of like psychologically healing and dealing with things, to me it's beautiful, and it reinforces that idea that laughter really can be the best medicine. And unfortunately, we have an entire group of people out there that want to take that away from us because they don't want to feel offended. So, are you getting the idea of why I'm generally so pissed off about that? Like, I'm really trying hard not to let my personal beliefs and political views get into my videos, but that's one thing where I have to, like, stop and just be in awe of how far we've come as a society. And when I say how far we've come, I mean how little we've learned from the world around us. It's like history teaches no lessons and everyone keeps falling for the same crap. And on that, I'm definitely talking about more than just, you know, the sad things that passed for comedy lately. You could also be making that argument when it comes to, you know, politics and political regimes. Again, really trying hard not to get into it. It's not what we come to this channel for. And when I say we, I mean you, because I come to this channel just because I enjoy doing this. One, two, three, and there we go. Beautiful. Nah, I don't want that. Earthquake Axe. I perhaps don't give Earthquake Axe all the credit that it deserves. This is coming from someone who rants about how much they love Earthquake Axe, so maybe I'm just being weird. Yeah, give me the spring. I want the spring. He means the season of spring where trees come back to life. I mean, not what I was talking about actually, but I mean, one thing I do like about spring is that we get some nice weather. Jesus. I was not ready for, Freer and Stalker to be showing up. Like, I know I just talked about anime earlier, but that is one anime that I've been very interested in checking out, is Frieren. I believe the full title of it in English is Frieren Beyond Journey's End. And I don't know, I'm interested. Maybe I'm just a big ol' simp for an elven mage, but I think the show looks really interesting. Maybe that's a sign that I should just go check it out instead of trying to justify it to a group of strangers on the internet. We got anything good here? Yes, but it wouldn't be good for this build, so let me stick with what I've got. Alright, so it was a mistake. And yet I'm still back to full health, so I guess it wasn't that big of a mistake. Oh, jeez. It's both a trap room and a battle room. Though it did neither one very well. Yes, we'll gladly take the Mercenary's Dagger now. So the one thing I don't like about having the Mercenary's Dagger is that I will be charged twice for using Earthquake Axe. So my question is, am I okay with that? And my answer would be, I've got 393 gold! I'm fucking rich! I just wish I could say that in real life. Just like, screw everything, I'm fucking rich! Nice dead end. I told myself I wouldn't keep bringing those up, but at this point, I'm going to surprise you now. This is actually kind of, for me, positive self-talk, because I've made fun of myself for running into dead ends enough that someone had to remind me that the reason why I keep running into dead ends is because I'm doing exactly what the game wants me to do, and I'm exploring. And it's exactly what I love doing in games. Part of the reason why games like Hollow Knight, Elden Ring, one of the things I really love about those games is the exploration aspect. It's one of the things I also love the most about Skyrim. And even though I'm not exactly Bethesda's biggest fan nowadays, I would be lying if I said that they didn't make something that I really liked. Oh, and there's the Magician's Top Hat, of course. So, yes, picking up... Get rid of that, so I can grab this. But yes, picking up the Magician's Wand earlier on in the seed definitely would have paid off. but you would have had to struggle with the slower casting speed for a good long while. And now, the game wants me to make a pivot into being a summoner. Well, I'm sorry, game, but I can't do that this time. I've already put too much into just being a ranged caster. But you know what? Maybe another time. And no, the irony is not lost on me that the Magician's Wand also showed up in the previous level. It wasn't just from the beginning of the game. I could have picked it up back there, but what did I choose to pick up instead? Mercenary's Dagger? Actually, that's not a bad call, honestly. And if I'm being honest, it gives you about the same damage bonus as the Magician's Wand. Matter of fact, let's look that up. It gives you a... Actually, it's more than the Magician's Wand. That's a 25% damage bonus. So, I was about to get into my own head about did I make the right choice by picking up the slightly less rare relic, but the slightly less rare relic actually gives me a bigger damage boost, so screw it. I made the right choice. Now this is where someone comes into the comments and goes, actually, Darksage, the Magician's Wand gives you a 30% attack bonus, so you're still wrong. Drills. Fire. Axes. More axes. And by that I mean single axe. Because, much like me, it has yet to find a partner. I hope you all saw just how useful the bladed buckler was right there. You go, Miss Fitness Guru. There we go. Beautiful. I like Bouncing Blaze, but again, I've kind of stuck with Bolt Rail so far. I'm just going to stick with it now. Oh, that was not smart. Yeah, part of how well you'll do in any game is definitely based upon when you can recognize your own mistakes, and that was definitely a mistake, because the turret guy, or the mortar firing guys, they do lock onto your location and fire in that location. So why I thought using a skill that's all about essentially planting yourself still and doing the flyby wires, like why I thought I could do that with no repercussion is beyond me. Right. Ooh, a little more armor. See, as much as I like Jade's Chakra Locket, I really don't think I'm going to need it. Best practices would tell me that I should drop the Friendship Bracelet for it. But... you know what? No. If it's best practice, then you should do it. Because let's say that things go south, or like I have like a tiny stroke while I'm playing and I miss a few of Sura's attack patterns, that 12% armor might just save my run. And then I can only hope that someone will save me, because if I've had a stroke on camera, I clearly need to go to the hospital. So, you know, if you can hear the symptoms coming on, please call 911 for me. And I don't know what the equivalent of 911 is in some of the countries that you all come from. I can only hope that they'll understand that it's a dumbass American YouTuber in need of help. Oh, I definitely made a huge mistake there. I should not have tried using Tracer Barrage there. And made the same mistake again. I apparently don't learn. Why, yes, I am a product of the American educational system. How could you tell? There we go. Alright, well, that was not a good Sura fight, but it was a good run overall, and I definitely feel it was good for helping me get my sea legs back underneath me. So my groove might just be at least, I don't know, 60 to 70% back. I don't know, maybe one of you guys should send me a challenge run and I can see if I really am back or not. But that is going to do it for today, so thank you guys very much for tuning in and checking out my work. I really do appreciate you coming and spending some of your free time here with me today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and you take care of yourself.